Lunch.
You are looking live.
Live at lunch. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
What the hell's going on out here?
Now, here's Jimmy Ott and Charles Hannegriff.
Yeah, for some reason or another, you sound a little taller on radio.
Is it live? Is it live? Is it live?
Bill Rufino's on Highland Road. Welcome to the Friday edition of Live at Lunch. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Charles Hannegriff, Jimmy Ott, Max Gotro. Jordan Kitchen's back in the studio. Oh, man, Chris Massaro with us today. Belmont is
live
tomorrow.
From Saratoga, yeah.
Yeah, Belmont is tomorrow. We'll see if Renegade can have we gotta get a weather report on it too, with the potential for some.
It rains
some
up there,
mud.
bro.
Yeah, we got the NBA Finals continuing tonight. The Super Regionals are starting right now. Cal Poly in West Virginia, the first of 4 games today.
Cal Poly got a shot?
Sure.
I know, yeah.
I mean, at this point, yeah, you definitely got a
go
shot.
through, they go through. They didn't have to play UCLA.
No, they didn't. I'm waiting for the we just had the broadcast come on. I want to see. West Virginia was, you and I agreed, along with Kansas, just a fantastic
it was a great atmosphere.
Yeah. It's 11 o'clock on Friday morning, or I guess it's noon there, but see what kind of crowd they got for this game. I'm sure it's going to be really good.
Charlie, they will not have an empty seat. They will have the people up on the hill. They will have don't worry about that. Don't you worry. West Virginia's been to Omaha how many times?
0.
There you go.
Yeah. USC and North Carolina, the second game at 2 o'clock. Little Rock and Troy go at 4.
Troy Mayor had to bring in some extra bleachers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Remind me of my dad's old story. Bear Bryant's first game ever coached, 1958, was LSU's first game of their first national championship season. So, and Mr. Curtis is here. Good job.
Okay.
Well,
now we can start.
We'll have to call a truant officer, to get him in class. But so they brought in. They had so much excitement down in Mobile. They played
at Mobile
in '58. LSU and Alabama,
okay.
And they had to bring in extra temporary bleachers in the end zone. They collapsed.
Wow.
It's Freddie Sabalenka. He remembers it.
No kidding.
Yeah. I mean, Freddie Sabalenka.
How have I never heard that story?
13-3.
About the bleachers collapsing?
100%.
I believe you.
When I was talking to Freddie, too, and he says, yeah, the bleachers, like, very few people I can actually, correspond. My dad remembers it like it yesterday, and my favorite story that my dad told it a lot, especially when he got his dementia and repeated things over and over. But they were shaking the guy and said, man, look, obviously Bear Bryant was in there to take over a losing program. Okay, they didn't make it to the playoff, and then they fired the coach.
Right.
And they said, man, you guys keep hitting like that, y'all go win some games. Y'all just keep playing hard like that. That was not easy. Coach Brian doesn't think so. We got practice full pads back on campus at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine?
That's a drive from Mobile to Tuscaloosa. Is what, 2.5, 3 hours?
At least, yeah. Back then, for sure.
Okay, so and then they got to get up at 7 a.m., get full pads? My man was laying the foundation early, huh?
Yeah, for sure. Well, Troy at 4 o'clock. Ole Miss and Auburn tonight at 7. One of 2 all-SEC Super Regionals.
You think Ole Miss got a shot there, huh?
I really do.
Of course they do.
I think they would have a shot under optimum circumstances. I just think Auburn is going to be a little pitching compromised, and I've liked. Auburn.
No. But that is compromised.
Yeah,
where they pulled the guy on Friday and then they brought him back on Monday.
Yeah,
and so yes, they are. But can he start a game 3?
I wonder if they lose tonight, if he's going to start tomorrow on 4 days rest. I don't know. Now they're throwing Andres Alvarez tonight, who has been very good for most of the season, but was shaky in the regional. And the other thing is, Patrick Grabe for Ole Miss has been their best pitcher. He's been throwing in the 2-hole, but over the last month, he's been their best pitcher. Hunter Elliott's going to go tonight. But if they get to tomorrow, I can't imagine. I don't know that the odds are reflected, But Rabe should be a favorite against anybody Auburn can throw tomorrow. He really should, the way he's thrown. It's like 19 strikeouts and 1 walk in the last 3 starts.
Well, Alvarez is a favorite tonight.
Alvarez is a favorite. And, look, he didn't pitch well last week, but
No,
he pitched
NC
well.
State, those can happen.
Sure. And Elliott's been eating some innings, but he's been giving up runs. He's gotten them into at least a 6th in his last 3 starts, but he's given up about a run every two-thirds of an inning.
A little north of 5 ERA.
Yeah.
I mean, that's we got a big enough sample size. That's a little bit more than we thought, but we know he has been there before.
Yeah.
He was you can talk about the big guy at first base. You can talk about the other. I always forget his name. The DeLucia, whatever his name. The other pitcher. There's nobody was more valuable to that run than Hunter Elliott.
Yes, he was.
Not even close. He was Steve Carlton, man, coming down the stretch of the second half of the season in the postseason. I mean, my goodness, he was their number 2 the whole time, but nobody had a number 1 like him.
I'm not expecting him to be dazzling tonight, but if he gives them tell me if you take this stat line right now, what Ole Miss's chances would be to win. If he goes 6 innings and gives up 4 runs.
6 innings, give up 4 runs. I think that's expected.
That's about the chalk. 5 or 6 innings and about 4 runs. If he does that, they'll have a chance. Because this is a little better lineup than what they're used to seeing. Yeah.
Charlie, they've been setting up on the hill for 3 hours. Yeah,
breakfast in West Virginia.
Yeah, don't worry about where they. It's an official holiday in Morgantown. I think it's a pick'em series. Mm-hmm. But you got the coach. I mean, something to be said about that. I mean, the coach in the program. Ole Miss has been here, and Bianco's been here way more than Auburn's. This coach is good. He's got them. You know, they were a top 8 seed the last 2 years. Also,
they were a regional host last year. Yeah.
Regional host, and then the last 2 years.
Yes,
it's the 3rd year they've been at least a regional host. This year, number 4. But no, I mean, this is kind of a pick'em series. So of course, the home team has an advantage playing at home, but man, that's going to be a very competitive series.
Looking forward to
who plays best, man. Who plays best?
That's pretty much it. They were eliminated by Southern Miss 3 years ago, and last year they were eliminated by Coastal Carolina, who went. It's 2 of the last 3 years, not the last 2 years.
Coastal
got them last year. They went all the way to the final. USC and North Carolina is the second game.
Well, the odds makers are giving USC some love.
And based on how they swung the bats in College Station, I can understand that. I also worry about their pitching being compromised. You know, pitching well into to Monday. They brought their starter back.
Well, they don't start till tomorrow. So
no,
their second game today.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I thought that was a rough draw for them to play 2:00 in the afternoon. They didn't finish till after 10 o'clock Central Time on Monday night.
So it's totally TV. Once you get the 8 teams,
it was all set. Yeah,
the 16 teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was all set. So,
what do you mean? No, it's
the days.
The days are previously set.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they were kind of locked in. You're thinking about what I was thinking about, which was when they went to Omaha, they used to be able to finagle the TV stuff the way they wanted. You remember in '97, LSU played 2 games on Memorial Day to get out of the regional. They beat South Alabama twice, and then they could have started on Friday or Saturday, and they ended up starting on Friday against Rice. And LSU was pretty steamed that, like, man, we had to play 2 games on Monday. You're going to make us play on Friday and not on Saturday? And, well, yeah, that's the way it fell that year. But that's what you got to deal with.
I was at that game.
I was at that game, too.
It was did Brandon Larson hit one off of Matt Anderson?
That landed somewhere around Mount Rushmore. Anderson threw 99 in college when nobody threw 99 in college.
That's like throwing 110 now.
And Larson, with those -5 bats, hit one towards that old scoreboard at Rosenblatt that had the crown over it.
Yeah, he cleared it pretty easily.
I mean,
I was sitting with
what a moonshot
in the Scouts tickets right behind home plate.
Yeah,
and I'm like, it was a shot, man.
Yeah,
of course, when you throw at 99, I mean, it helps, create some power. But
Anderson was the number 1 pick in the draft that year by the Tigers.
Lance Berkman played on the team.
Lance Berkman hit the year that Larson hit 40. Berkman hit 41. That's one of those little-known or forgotten stats that, Larson hit 40 home runs, didn't even lead the country because Berkman did. And Berkman went on to a long, great career with the Astros.
Berkman wasn't draft eligible that year?
He was, yeah.
And Anderson went ahead of him?
Yeah, Anderson went number one.
That's crazy.
Oh, the old
Berkman.
and that was Rice's first trip under Wayne Graham, if I remember correctly. In '97.
I don't know.
Did the Jose Cruz team go up there? I don't think they did. I think they got beat in the finals by the regional final by Fullerton.
Oh, when Jose Cruz,
Fullerton
won that. That was
yeah. I think '97 was Rice's first trip under Wayne Graham.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other regionals tomorrow, Mississippi State and Georgia get started early. 10 o'clock start our time in Athens. And I think that one, along with the Oregon-Texas series, are the most competitive series on paper. I think either one of those.
Give me the over. Give me the overs.
In Mississippi State, Georgia, for sure. I don't know if I take the over in Oregon, Texas, man.
No.
No. You got Valanis going for Texas. Oregon only gave up 3 earned runs in 3 games in their regional. And Texas has probably the only pitcher's park in the league in the SEC.
6-11, it's the lowest seeds, of the super regional matchups, combined. Oregon is now it's going to stay in the park. So just a 2-out single is all that. Nothing for Cal Poly in the top of the first. Texas, Charlie, they look great last week.
Yeah.
They look great. I know it was some weaker competition, but, man, look, we know that Schlossnagel gets it. I mean, these are probably not only are this, I mean, is this the top maybe seeds combined, the 6 and 11, the top seeds combined, where the one super actually where the chalk, held form, but also both of these teams passed the get off the bus list, test.
Yeah.
I mean, they're good looking athletes, man. I mean, there's some big guys.
Oregon's very big. Valanis is 6 foot.
I think Texas is pretty.
Yeah, no, they look great. Valanis might be the number 1 pick in next year's draft.
Yes, check out his high school numbers. His senior year in high school, his ERA was like .26.
Now, he's ridiculous.
.2, not like .985.
When he pitched
0.2.
against LSU last year, and he was coming out of the bullpen, it's like, sweet Moses, if they got a guy like this coming out of the bullpen, man, what does the rotation look like?
Well, he was
freshman of the year.
Freshman of the year in the conference, but he was also all SEC as a freshman as a reliever.
Yeah.
And that was his role last year. But this year, hey man, he has been tough, man. He has been tough.
And Schlossnagel, such a smart coach. He didn't shove him into that Friday night role right at the beginning. He kind of piecemeal.
He did actually move him to Friday night?
Yeah.
I thought he was always the number 2.
No, he was on Sundays to start the season. He moved him March.
When did he?
Mid to late March.
Okay.
They moved him.
Okay.
In place of
Riojas.
Yeah.
He's been shaky this year.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're getting out of him.
Has not been as good. But that should be a great regional. And you got a Friday night hammer as opposed to Oklahoma. I give them credit for what they did last week and coming through that regional and winning it. But, man, their Friday night pitching has been all over the place. They're starting a freshman tomorrow, Jimmy, Cord Rager. He's given up basically a run an inning over the last 3 weeks. That's the best. That's the guy you're going to lead with. And they've tried Mercurius, and they've tried openers, and they've tried some other things.
He has mediocre pitching. He's trying a lot of different things, and give him credit. They were clutch, but my goodness, I mean, I just don't get it. Where the odds are basically a pick 'em for that super. I mean, Kansas has been a really good team the whole year. Won the regular season title, won the conference tournament against West Virginia in the final. Had some breaks, blow their way before it busted out, but Kansas seems that seems a little bit short. But they had been there probably since it was at '93, huh?
Mm-hmm. That's right. And never in the super regional round since he went to '99 when they changed the format. And listen, if Kansas starts their regular Friday night guy, that I haven't seen it, but I'm sure it's going to be, you're going to have 2 starting pitchers in a super regional whose ERAs are approaching 6. So expect a bunch of runs in that game in Kansas. Really, the whole series.
I'm not sure if in the losers bracket game No. Long Beach beat Texas A&M. Kansas was 2-0 in that drill. All right, we got a lot of college baseball to talk about. We're also over here at Ruffino's. Our appetizer features today from Chef Patrick. Talked to Chef Patrick before the show today. Always killing it in the kitchen. Very creative. Always doing some great different rotation of different specials. A little shrimp skewer, grilled shrimp with a pineapple habanero glaze with mango salsa. Another appetizer feature today is a crawfish and asparagus risotto. Louisiana crawfish tails, asparagus tips, creamy risotto, and herb oil. Entree features today, the smoked veal short ribs with a jerk sauce, red beans and rice. Pickled onions. Suggest wine pairing is a Valron Zinfandel from Sonoma. Blackened grouper with the Saison couscous, watermelon pico de gallo, and ají verde. Suggested wine pairing is a Frank Family Chardonnay out of Napa.
Live at Ruffino's. Live at lunch. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Odd and Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
West Virginia strikes first, 3-run homer in the bottom of the first inning. They lead Cal Poly 3-0. Only one out. And yes, Jimmy, your prediction was accurate. There is not an empty seat anywhere in that. Anyway, and they said something about they wanted to limit the amount of people on the berms.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
well, they've been there since 9 a.m.
Good luck with that.
All right, let's go out to Saratoga. Chris Massaro is over in Saratoga. Chris, how is Saratoga, huh?
It's absolutely beautiful, Jimmy. 85 degrees the last few days. I can't just tell you just how perfect it's been. You know the rainstorm's coming because it's been kind of hot and humid the last few days, but so far, no rain. Racing's been spectacular. The track is fast and firm, very, very speed-favoring track. If you go to the front, like you saw in the first race today, 9-1 shot. First out of the gate, held off the two favorites, 3-5, just couldn't catch up. It's been a very speed-favoring track all weekend. And thank you, Charlie, for that great update. I took a piece of West Virginia 10-1 to win the College World Series going into these Super Regionals, so that's a great update for me.
Yeah, West Virginia, if they get there, is going to face the winner of Troy and Little Rock. They could easily be in the winner. Yeah. They'll be favored to be in the winner's
Absolutely.
bracket.
Yeah,
I took a piece of them, and I took a piece of Auburn after all the other futures I had were out. So I figured we'll see. I like the way Auburn's bats are coming alive, and West Virginia, I just thought it was a good story. They had some really great wins there. I figured a good home field advantage with Cal Poly has to go across the country. And to your point, the next round, they have, they're going to be favored, yep.
Do you
still have the Texas futures from earlier in the year?
Unfortunately, I do not. The one that I had, which would have been fantastic, would have been if LSU had made the College World Series. I had them wrapped up with Spurs for the West. Oh, my God, it paid tremendous. But disappointing year for the Tigers, as we all know.
Yeah, it fell a little short.
You weren't the only one that was disappointed, believe me.
Fell worst season in the history of the program, basically. I mean, oh man! All right, you talked about the speed bias at Saratoga. Chris, this was us last year, and we were texting back and forth. I mean, it was. And Saratoga turned into Del Mar, it seemed a little bit. I mean, it was a joke how much the speed was holding last year. So far, it might be the same type of thing. I need to know this as we get into our handicapping.
Yeah, even going back 2 years when Dornock won the Belmont here, it's just a drier time of year. There's not as many thunderstorms, and it's just a speedy track. And apologize if I get a little cut out here as the second race is about to take off, and Frank Miramati calls it. So. But, yeah, it just has been a speed-favoring track. Even the turf has been speed-favoring as, it's just a dried-out turf course. There's not a lot of rain. You're not getting the thick, bushy grass, and it's just a speed-favoring turf course as well.
Who you got in this race that's getting ready to go right now?
I'm on the 2 and 3. The 3 was obvious. He hit the post, had won here last year. The 2 took some money in the double, so I played a little bit of 2-3. 3's on the lead, but 2's lingering in the back. We'll see what happens.
Okay, all right. Let's see what we got you. Chris, is this the Belmont tomorrow? Is this the highest quality of the 3 Triple Crown races this year?
Well, I mean, the Derby's always, you get more competitors. You only have, 9 horses in the Belmont tomorrow, but it's a tremendous card, and I really think, based on the way the track has been playing, that you have to look outside Renegade, who likes to come off the pace, and Golden Tempo, who likes to come off the pace. Golden Tempo, obviously, the Kentucky Derby winner. I think you might have to look for a horse like Emerging Market. Chad Brown, Flavian Pratt was the wise guy horse on Derby Day. That horse is going to be forwardly placed. And if you remember in the Derby, as many people do, the horse was making a menacing move at the top of the stretch. And what happened was he lost a shoe. So I'm not sure how much that affected him or what happened. I remember on Derby Day, I said to myself, what happened to the 15 Emerging Market? He was making a big move, and it turned out he lost a shoe. So that's the one horse I'm going to be looking at tomorrow with Renegade, with Golden Tempo. I'm going to be watching the board because I want a horse that's forwardly placed, because this track has just been lightning fast all week.
All right. What did you think about Game 1 of the NBA Finals 2 nights ago?
Well, we have a lot of people, overreaction Thursday, which was what I was calling it yesterday. People are saying that the Knicks are going to sweep in Game 3. It's going to be the tickets most expensive of all time, on and on and on. And I just want everyone just to, hold your horses. NBA is a game of runs. You have huge runs in the early first, second quarter. Spurs were on a 20-3 run. Knicks come back with an 18-2 run. The game just happened to end with the Knicks on a run. I mean, the game was tied with 4 minutes. The Spurs shot 11 for 43 from 3, 26%. I mean, I think there's going to be some positive shooting regression. I think Mitch Johnson got out-coached, which I was surprised about. Yes. But I think the Spurs take care of business tonight. I really do. They've been so good off a loss. They've only lost 2 games. They've only lost back-to-back games. Twice in the regular season, they lost 2 in a row to OKC last series. But I think they come back with a huge effort tonight. I think the shooting regression goes a little positive for the Spurs. I want to see Harper a little bit more and a better game out of Castle. Maybe Wemby, we can get him down the block for once in a while. Enough of these threes from Wemby. We need him down low. And I think the Spurs will take care of it tonight. I played him early, -5.5. And I like the over, too. They played at a frenetic pace. The shots just were not going in. And I'm really shocked that they moved the total down, 218 to 213.5. I think we're back at 214.5 now, but I like Spurs and over tonight.
Do that overreact. Is it overreaction or not an overreaction? Knicks to sweep, that's an overreaction. The most expensive ticket ever, and for Game 3, that might not be an overreaction. It's going to be a pretty pricey ducat on Monday.
I got a kick out of the several New Yorkers I've heard that, said it was cheaper to catch a flight, get a hotel, get a ticket in San Antonio. It's one thing about it, it's I watched it Christmas morning. They always play that first game, noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, that game on Christmas. And the Knicks might be, 5-25. But the place is packed, So it's funny. I mean, you grew up in that area. The Knicks fans, the bandwagon is full right now. There's no doubt. Okay, but they have supported a really bad team more than most would. I would say that.
Oh, there's been some lean. The lean years have been the majority. They haven't been good since what? The '99 finals. That's 27 years ago. It's amazing to even think that. They have that Knick pride, and it's definitely going to be insane there. And that's why I just figure the Spurs have to get tonight's game. I'm not saying that the Spurs can't win Game 3 or Game 4, but they obviously don't want to be going down 0-2 going into that Hornets nest.
How much of the Knicks pride or the Knicks fan is obnoxious, antagonistic, just wants to be seen and loud? Just be around some stars, whatever? Because it seemed like I was looking at them in San Antonio, and the people around the Spurs fans were not happy with the Knicks fans' presence in Game 1. I can tell you that.
Well, listen, I'm not a big fan of the talking heads on a lot of the sports networks. But if you saw the clip the other day that said Stephen A. Smith said that he deserves credit for the Knicks run since he called them out. He deserves credit. So I'm sure they're sizing up a championship ring for Stephen A.
We need to take ourselves a little bit less seriously. I mean, no. It's just trying to get over the fact that the Knicks, Knicks have such a poorly run organization. This is a good roster that they put together. Okay, this is a competitive roster. There's no doubt about that. The one thing, Chris, that I really think the Spurs are fighting is how many of the Spurs' first 8 in their rotation is in their prime.
Well,
Maybe
I agree with that. They're definitely young, but
and how many of the Knicks' first 8, in their rotation is in their prime?
The first 5 for sure.
I mean, it's just that, and I thought that was a factor in game 1, and I don't think that's going anywhere. The men versus boys, or seasoning in the playoffs, or just do you think Wemby thinks this is his last final that he's going to be in? Of course not. I didn't think they took the Knicks as serious in game 1 as they took the Thunder as serious in game 1. I don't think so.
I can agree with you there, and I did the show with Max and the guys at Bet Rivers this week, and that was my play. I like Knicks game 1 to steal it, and I like the Spurs to win the series. That was plus 455, and I thought that was a great bet because I figured that was such an emotional series. Beating the champs, getting to the finals as a young group. They might be a little immature. Probably don't take the Knicks as high as they should. And for all the reasons you mentioned, veteran team, Killer and Brunson, big Zach can defend. OG with a tremendous defensive player. Hart with the rebounds. 15 rebounds for Hart. The Knicks are a legit team. No doubt about it. It's not a fluke at all. You don't win 12 games in the NBA playoffs and not be a legit team. So. I just think the Spurs have just so much talent that they'll be okay tonight. And I think we're going to have a long series. My best bet in the series was over 5.5 games. I put that out a bunch of places. So hopefully we get to game 6 or 7. I can cash that.
Well, Charlie was on that too. He liked the spot in game 1 as well. The only thing is you look at the amount of the shots behind the arc in game 1 for Wembanyama against the Thunder, and his shots behind the arc in game 1 against the as far as game 1, this first chapter, he didn't want any of that smoke down low with Karl Anthony Towns. He did not want it. Period. He didn't want it, and he's got to want it because, that's nice he can shoot threes, but in that game 1 against the Thunder, shot 2, and 1 was kind of out of necessity. To try and put it in overtime. You got a pick in the Belmont for us tomorrow. Anything else in today's card or tomorrow?
I'm gonna lean on an exacta. I'm gonna key emerging market to 8 with Renegade and Golden Tempo, and I'm gonna play it the other way too. Renegade and Golden Tempo with emerging market. Maybe you play a try those 3. I want a horse that's going to be forwardly placed. Chad Brown, Flavian Pratt, emerging market. I think he might steal from the front, but I want to have those 2 closes coming late in a mile and a quarter race, 10 furlongs at Saratoga.
Uncommon ground, Danny Asteria, Sperry's, a little bit of everything, huh?
We're trying a new one tonight. Noah's Italian.
There you go. Do they know what kind of critics coming into their joint? Huh?
we give them fair warning that we're approaching the starting gate.
Noah's consider yourself warned. Chris, have a great time. I know you will, man. I'm jealous, man. That's awesome. It's at Belmont at Saratoga. Have fun.
All right, thank you guys. Have a great weekend.
All right, Charlie. A leadoff double is still at second with 2 outs.
Yeah, and a 1-2 count. So they're on the verge of getting out of this. West Virginia after the 3-run homer in the bottom of the first.
Much bigger start than their regional. Jumping on top of them 3-0. Getting a little pitching, and it's kind of a little. I think West Virginia was the best team out of the Big 12. I know that Kansas won the regular season. I know that Kansas won the tournament. The tournament final, as he gets a strikeout swinging to end the threat there. So leadoff double is wasted. Middle of the second, West Virginia 3, Cal Poly 0. But they went to Lawrence late, either the last week of the season or the second to last week, and swept them in Lawrence. Not only did they do that, And listen, I had Kansas in that game, the tournament final against them. I felt lucky. There were constant bases loaded, nobody out, 2 on, nobody out. They were hitting line drives and double plays and stuff. Kansas dodged a bunch of bullets. And, of course, you're dealing with down-the-line pitching there as well. But that was a little bit flukish. I think West Virginia's a better team.
I'll give you another reason to like West Virginia. This is not their ace on the mound right now.
Oh, geez.
He had to pitch late in the regional. Max Yeo, he's not pitching today. This is their number 2.
Don't forget our friends at Legacy Title. Chad Reynolds in Legacy Title for all of your real estate closings. A full-service title company servicing all of South Louisiana. Fast, friendly, professional services, which you get with their long-standing staff. Ashley Donald, Adrian Galata, Michael Platt, Mariana Haynes, Natalie and Bradford Smith. Buying, building, refinancing. Nobody chooses but you. Choose Chad Reynolds, Legacy Title, 296-0060.
Live at Rufino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Rufino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Jimmy, Charlie, and Troy. 3 best buddies sitting around talking sports bets. Let's welcome in Troy Macker from Bet Rivers.
Troy, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, Jimmy. Thanks for having me on again.
Yes, indeed. Good to have you. We are underway in the Super Regional round. So, any just betting the brands, betting the favorites? I mean, typical action or anything out the ordinary as far as the betting this college baseball Super Regional round?
It's been mostly the favorites, if not chalk, with one exception. We're seeing a little bit of action on the matchup between my namesake, Troy, which I have blindly placed a wager on to Omaha, as I do with any time Troy makes a bowl game, NCAA tournament, or now the College World Series Super Regionals. And who are they playing? Arkansas State or Arkansas Little Rock?
Little Rock.
Little Rock.
Yeah. So,
and I think it's officially gone from Arkansas Little Rock to Little Rock. Is that right, Troy?
Rock, yeah.
Yeah.
We've seen this in previous years with the College World Series. The kind of darling team to make the Super Regionals gets a little bit of backing to make the Omaha. Obviously, there are going to be long odds in there with heavy favorites from the SEC and the Big 12. So that is where I've seen a little bit of kind of zagging as opposed to zigging.
Gotcha. All right. Where was the action on Game 1 for San Antonio and the Knicks?
Yeah, it was a slight towards New York. I think people are really buying into betting live on the Knicks. That has to be a trend going forward if you see the Knicks as dogs. The value is too good still for them to not make a small money line live play. When they're down 10, we know 10 points is nothing, even in a more tight game with maybe less points, less possessions. But for Game 1, it was 57% of the money and 56% of the tickets on the Knicks to win outright, 52% of the spread and 53% of the spread money and 53% of the spread tickets on the Knicks, and then over slight 67% and 72%. So you're going to see an adjustment to Game 2, but the public is betting the Knicks ever so slightly. But I think that shows a strong indication because San Antonio Spurs have the future face of the NBA, the best young player in the NBA. Certainly the Knicks have a really good squad, but the Western Conference is thought to be so much better. Spurs at home. That even though it's 57% of the money line money, which is not super strong, I think that's kind of weighted because of how strong people are going to be betting the Spurs coming in.
What's your thoughts of the series after Game 1?
Well, especially for Game 2, it's trends for me. I played the trend entering Game 1, which is, I don't know if you can trust a team coming off of Game 7 to perform in Game 1. That's also a game, especially the finals where you have two good teams. Game 1's the game you steal on the road. What's Game 2? Game 2 is the game the Spurs have to get back. I think this is a game you have to back the Spurs, even though the Knicks have been amazing. I think the Knicks are just a really tough veteran team in this. When you look at the matchups, they're far more veteran than the Spurs. Maybe the talent, if you match it up, would lean slightly to the Spurs, but the sum of all parts, the Knicks, they have the glue players. They have more camaraderie, I think. So it's very hard bet against the Knicks, but given that this is the game the Spurs have to have at home, I think this is a decisive Spurs win. And one play I do really like for tonight is Jalen Brunson under point. You have to go back to games 1, 2, and 3 of the first series against Atlanta. He had 28 points, 29 points, 26 points. From that point on, he did not hit over on his game. And last time out, he had 30 points. At point total 26 and a half, I think he goes under there. Last game, 30 points, 15 points, 30 points, 19 points, 38 points, 22 points, 33 points, 25 points. So I think he put just a little bit under. It's still a 20-point game or so, but I would be betting Brunson to not get.
All right, we're getting a little bit of we're having a bad signal with Troy, so
reconnect, Jordan, if you would.
We'll try and reconnect real quick. So,
quick update: the game has moved to the top of the third now. West Virginia leading Cal Poly 3-0. They didn't do anything with their leadoff double in the second. Talking about Cal Poly. And the 3-run homer for West Virginia is the difference in the ball game right now.
1, 2, 5, and 8 is the game. What time? Where they start? What's the schedule today?
2 o'clock for USC, North Carolina. 4 o'clock for Little Rock
1, 2,
and Troy,
4,
and 7.
Okay, 1, 2, 4,
Ole
and
Miss
7.
and Auburn. Yeah.
All right. Do we have Troy back?
Yeah.
I believe so. All right, Troy. So where is the action? I mean, the zigzag. I mean, this thing's up to 6.5 now, and this is with the Knicks team that is not taking their foot off the gas when they've gone up in series. So the exhale, I mean, I'm concerned about just, okay, this is a typical spot because I don't think the Knicks take anything for granted. And you mentioned that, and we've talked about it a lot, about how much more veteran this roster is for the Knicks and with the Spurs.
Yeah, so right now, 69% of the money and 62% of the tickets are on the Spurs to win outright. The spread is a little closer. 55% of the spread money is on the Spurs, but 63% of the spread tickets on the Knicks. And then overs again, 70% of the money and 60% of the tickets. So, but that lends itself to, again, a close, tight game and trading punches in the corner. Who do you trust? I trust the Knicks to eke out a win, to dig deeper, to win the possessions that you can only win when you're cohesive and you get one because you're doing the little things right. So I probably wouldn't play Spurs to cover, but I do think the Spurs win the game. But I think it's close. And if the Knicks get down 10, I'll be betting on the Knicks to win on money line. You'll get that at 4-1 or something.
Troy, I know it's I didn't prepare you for this, but the Judge injury, we knew he was injured. I mean, that's one thing to take a day off just for a little rest. But then when you're off, you're not in the lineup a second day in a row. And then third, okay, what's the injury? And so it's 4 to 6 weeks for Judge, and that has just shook up the AL MVP voting board.
Yeah, absolutely. Judge right now, oh gosh, I can't even. Where is he? He's what is that? 100-1 now. I mean, that puts him in 13th spot. Bobby Witt at plus 140, Yordan Alvarez plus 150, Ben Rice, who's had a really good season, plus 450. He's potentially the one who could benefit from this the most. But Bobby Witt has been amazing. The problem is that if Aaron Judge returns to form and he's just hitting dingers every night, like that's going to carry so much more weight to the kind of the discussion of it than having a multiple 3 for 5 games, flashing great leather, which is what Bobby Witt does. Getting extra bags. But I think you'll still see people bet on him. That's why I'm interested to see Aaron Judge at 100-1 because I mean, like, it's a long season. I know we're now in June, and 4 to 6 weeks is it gets you past the All-Star break. But that second half is grueling. And what was it, 2-3 years ago when he was coming up on the home run single season record or something?
Yeah.
He was matching papers every night, and his MVP odds are shortened and shortened and shortened. So 100-1 is tantalizing if you think he can have a really hot second.
Yes, yeah. No kidding. The odds at Bet Rivers basically co-favorites. Bobby Witt Jr. plus 140, Yordan Alvarez of the Astros plus 150. So, yeah, it shook up. And it is like with Tariq Skubal. When he went down with an injury, he basically he was the favorite. He got knocked off. of the list completely. We follow Troy on Twitter at Troy Macher. That's MACHIR. Troy, thank you, buddy. We'll talk to you Monday.
Have a good one, guys. Thanks.
All right. Top of the third.
Top of the third. Nobody on.
Cole
Two out. Cole Chasen is really throwing well
Sharp.
for West Virginia. They just showed the strikes to pitches ratio, and it's about a little over 2.5 to 1. He is in command. The crowd is behind him. He's pitching with a lot of confidence right now, and he's pitching with a 3-run lead, which helps. And there's a strikeout to end the top of the third, so we go to the bottom of 3-0 West Virginia.
Get a lot of swings and misses.
Yeah, he is.
So another strikeout.
That breaking ball
swinging.
is working. Yeah, very, very, very good.
That was a break. What was it?
That
a slide or a sweeper.
I don't know about that pitch. I just earlier in the at bat, he's
throwing
really
it for
got
strikes.
That, yeah, he's got that breaking ball working. We're brought to you by the Thibodeau Store. Father's Day fast approaching. Lots of great gift ideas at the Thibodeau Store, and they've got tool specials right now from Stanley, from Milwaukee, from Channel Lock, from DeWalt. Tons of outdoor furniture, patio furniture, and homemade cypress furniture, poolside furniture available too. Backyard grilling, outdoor cooking stuff. Listen, I understand you may not want to go out and buy a huge grill. There's all kinds of different sizes, and the accessories. Jimmy, you went nuts in the accessories section because all the
accessories, the grills, the outdoor cooking. Man, it's just everything. All different sizes, all different price points. It's so much of a selection, and if they don't have in stock, they can order for you too. So, no, it is an outdoor cook. I mean, we loved outdoor cook. It's a little slice of heaven.
Tremendous customer service available for them, and if you're doing building projects this summer, lumber delivery is available out of Lockport and out of Pierreport. 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodaux. The Thibodaux Store, Highway 70 in Pierreport. The Pierreport Store, and all 4 of your locations are available for access at thethibodauxstore.com. Live at Rufino's. Live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Otten Hanny from Rufino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Said Chasen Cole was rolling for West Virginia. It's actually 6 straight strikeouts now for the West Virginia starter today as we move to the bottom of the third inning with the Mountaineers up 3-0. Jimmy, you think Bruce Marshall might have an opinion about this vote today by the Bears Board of Directors that, barring something really unforeseen, they're moving to Indiana, the stadium, the new stadium.
So my knees tell Michael Wilbon, because it would say, while we're talking about this, it's a non-story. It's not happening. It's happening. It's happening.
It's definitely happening. They've gone round and round with the city of Chicago for however long, and the McCaskey family's not gonna. They're gonna go take this deal.
Give you a little bit of it's. San Francisco plays in Santa Clara. The Cowboys playing Irving.
The Giants
sorry, Arlington. Arlington.
The Giants and the Jets play in New Jersey.
Yeah, it's part of it. The Saints, did they project something in LaPlace or New Orleans East?
No, it
or
was
something
Hancock
Slidell or
County, Mississippi. Yeah, I remember Buddy Diliberto. It was in the latter part of his run where that was a real possibility, and Buddy was kind of resigned at one point that the Saints were going to move the stadium.
They
the
talked
new
about
stadium was going
LaPlace
to be in
and
Hancock.
Slidell as well. I would have been shocked had they ever gone to Hancock County, but and the thing about it is, you got to. If the Saints would build a stadium outside of the city, then the city loses so much as far as attractability, because that's the thing. The city's got a lot of things going for it, a lot of things going bad for it. But, the one thing that's got that nobody else has is the entertainment district, the stadium, and all the hotels are all within walking distance. So that's not going to change.
I think that's what saved him. I really do. Because when Tom Benson wanted a new stadium, he wanted it on the riverfront. If he was going to get a new stadium, he wasn't going to put his real backing into anything that wasn't right there on the road. Now he wanted a new stadium very badly.
Yeah,
but it wasn't.
The view of Algiers is beautiful.
Well, they weren't gonna.
It is, Charlie.
Shoot in the other direction.
Where you from? Come on, it's my roots, boy. I mean,
he really wanted that thing on the river.
It's desirable.
That was his dream. To
Cal
have
Poly with bombs away.
Solo shot.
Solo shot. 3-1 now.
The one thing from my understanding of the Spare situation is they desperately wanted to move to that Arlington Heights location. They tried and waited and waited. That was their preferred spot. It's pretty close to Alice Hall. But ultimately, I guess the money didn't work out that way. Stayed in Indiana.
All the money.
They had put a bunch of money into Soldier Field in these
countless
renovations. They put plenty of money in it
before and after.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Yes, a big deal.
So what happens to that? What happens to that stadium?
I mean, you have soccer when they come in and do the are they doing a World Cup there?
I believe they are. I believe they're in. I should definitely know this, but I think they're in Soldier Field.
I mean, so
it's awfully hard to justify without
Chicago's not in.
It's awfully hard to justify a stadium like that in the upkeep and everything if you don't have an NFL tenant in there.
Yes.
It's a very, very costly.
The U.S. is facing Germany this weekend in a last friendly at Soldier Field, but there are no World Cup games in Chicago.
Friendly. What's the deal with these friendlies?
Just a prep for the World Cup.
No riots in the stands.
Scrimmage? Is that scrimmage?
Essentially, yeah.
Okay.
Hour number 2 straight ahead here at Rufino's Live at Lunch. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
He's out there somewhere in the world. Maybe even your local sports book.
Can anybody help us?
Let's bring in Bruce Marshall.
And return here at Rufino's, where the Friday lunch menu includes the shrimp skewers with the pineapple glaze, the crawfish and asparagus risotto, smoked veal short ribs on your entree features today with red beans and rice, and the blackened grouper, which I believe, Jimmy, you have tried before. The blackened grouper was...
No, I didn't have the blackened grouper.
You had
the grouper, last week. It was unbelievable.
All right, we'll get the blackened grouper
good.
Today.
Oh, I'll try. Yes, we'll try this version of the grouper today, yes.
3-1, West Virginia leading Cal Poly, 1 on and 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning for Cal Poly. 3-1, West Virginia with the lead.
If you picking, who you picking right now? Forget the odds to win it. Who's the favorite?
If I had to pick right now to win the whole thing, I would probably pick Georgia.
Georgia? Okay. Yeah. All right, Brucey, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, pretty good. I'm all for blackened grouper, too. And by the way, I have a pet peeve. I want to let everybody know. These people at the NBA who get the sideline seats, right on the floor, sit your behind down in the seats. You don't get to stand up the whole game, especially that guy with a cowboy hat at San Antonio the other night. You've got people behind you, by the way, who would like to see. Second, you are almost on the floor. I mean, I've seen some of these people get almost in the way of the players. Just sit down. Just because you pay a lot of money to get in those seats doesn't mean you get to stand up and be on the court. Sit yourself down. That's why they put seats there. It's not a standing bay like old, English soccer stadium. They got a seat there for a reason. Sit down.
It looked like a lot of the crowd was standing up. It was not just the front row during that game. I could tell you this. I went to a few of the Saints games on the way to there. Like, for instance, the Monday night game against the Patriots, where the Saints beat them so bad that they pulled Brady. They threw in the white towel. They pulled Brady. Belichick said that we had enough. Get us out of here. If you're sitting in the plaza, the lower section, which goes up like 35, 40 rows, you're standing the whole game. You're staying the whole game back in that era. And I mean, I'm sitting down, I'm standing up, I'm sitting down, So yeah, it's a kind of a level of excitement. But I did notice my man with the big cowboy hat on the first row. I did notice that. Why don't he just bring an umbrella to shield the people behind him sitting? So, I mean, umbrellas are banned in Tiger Stadium.
They
Is
are
that correct?
It never rains at Tiger Stadium, so you're all right.
Oh, yes, yeah, absolutely.
Good point.
Never rains in South Louisiana. Brucey, what'd you think of the game, though?
Well, I thought the Knicks would win. I picked the Knicks to win this series. There's an AP story out there Mark Anderson wrote where he quoted me, and I was given my reasons why I think the Knicks can win the series, and everything sort of came. It took a while for Game 1 to take shape like that, because it was not a good watch there. In fact, for much of the game, it wasn't a good watch until the Knicks started to hit the accelerator there in the second half. I think this is going to work for the Knicks. We got to get used to Spike Lee. Well, he's had 53 years, suffering there. We got to get used to him and Knicks fans crowing about this. This is something special that's going on. I think the fundamental here that is the problem for the Spurs is that because the Knicks can, a lot of it is with Cat, because they can play this 5 out on the offensive end there, and they can spread the floor. Wemby's got to come out and play some defense. It was mostly on Cat the other night. Give Cat credit. I mean, he went by him several times, but if you can pull Wemby away from the paint like that minimizes what he can do defensively. Defensively, the Spurs are just, I don't think, built to deal with the Knicks. And the Knicks didn't even shoot all that great in Game 1. They will shoot better as the series goes on, I believe. Also, I think San Antonio's only remedy here is to hit more threes, because that's a lot of their offense. And, unless Champagne, he can do something at times. He's kind of streaky, but I don't know that Castle can do that. And Darren Fox, they're kind of streaky, but not that reliable. And they've got Wemby shooting too many threes. The Knicks are also big on the wings, with bigger on the wings than San Antonio with Hart and Anunoby. One last thing, they've sort of built this playoff zigzag into Game 2 price. This is where the zigzag, normally when a home team loses Game 1, it's been historically the best spot for the zigzag is to bounce back with them in Game 2. However, it's not etched in granite. It doesn't always work. And I think it is superseded by what the Knicks are doing here, and I don't see them easing up. When you're on this sort of a run like they're on, this 12-game win streak, plus 292, they end up winning another game by double digits in Game 1. That's the trend I think we have to respect. I don't see the Knicks pulling back. I think it's full steam ahead. I think they may take a 2-0 lead back to Madison Square Garden after tonight. We will see.
A couple of things. First of all, I prescribe to the zigzag theory normally, and I'll take my swings at it. I know I'm dealing with a premium price. You done it, and it's crept up more than so. But I know there's a lot of things we try and handicap. One thing I know, if I'm wrong on this one, okay. But the Knicks ain't taking anything for granted. This is not an XL roster. This is not. They are. Haven't they proven that? You don't think they're up 3-0? They're going to beat the Sixers or the Cavaliers? If you don't think they're going to, they ain't exhaling against the Spurs. There's no way. This is a mature, and it finally took over. The maturity, the seasoning, so many of the players that are in their prime versus so many of the players that are not even close to their prime just yet. Who in San Antonio's team is in their prime right now? De'Aaron Fox should be. He should be, but he's hurt. And he has been so inconsistent, actually more off than on in the playoffs. So it was fortunate for the Spurs' sake that he was on in Game 7 in Oklahoma City, and and then when you have to go out and guard him, and then he's so much quicker off the dribble. So I had the Spurs in Game 1. I lost, okay, but I respect the heck out of the Knicks way more after what happened Wednesday night than before. I'm sorry. I just can't get I know they beat them as bad as they could. But how many times we've seen, Bruce, and this is one of your terms, a bully in sports. How many times we see Oregon beat these teams, by 50? But can they step up in class? So You can't go from Los Alamitos to the or Jefferson Downs to the Kentucky Derby. You know what I mean? So, but they handled it, and it's just the toughness, the 50-50 balls, the defense. How many? Every player that played for the Knicks Wednesday night made an impact. Jose Alvarado, did he look phased when he came in the game? My man was pulling it, and he got some much-needed baskets. And we know that Brunson's a closer, but Brunson, he's played way better than what he did for 45 minutes. I think, in another thing, the zigzag, the bounce back, the higher seed at home that loses that first one, it usually bounce back. There's an exhale spot by the underdog. But the other thing is that the point spread is not coming to point at all. It's in the finals. It's like, Charlie, it's like 63-3. Like, the point spread does not come involved. I mean, the team who wins the game. I kind of think that this is maybe one time that it might. We're dealing with 6.5 points for a team that is going to scratch your eyeballs out. They are not taking it you're not exhaling it all tonight. We'll see.
Yeah, you're right. You had to mention Los Alamitos there. You know how much money I left at Los Alamitos long ago? My goodness.
Well,
I used to go right out there my whole paycheck, and then just my God. But no, you're right. The other thing, what really impressed me in game one when Brunson went out, and I thought, God, maybe the Knicks, they're just going to lose touch here. But they scrapped and they hung around. Alvarado came in, didn't do that bad, and I like Mike Brown's reaction. It was like, okay, next man up. He didn't get too concerned about it. It's just he's in the moment. And then when Brunson came back in and didn't seem to be slowed that much, that certainly perked them up. I still go back to the Atlanta series and what they were able to do. And what Mike Brown did, that adjustment he made after the third game when they lost those 2 games by a point in games 2 and 3. And we mentioned this last week. He sort of made a subtle adjustment offensively. Let's get Cat more involved. Let's run the offense through him some. And I think from that moment on, that got Cat more engaged. That got him more animated. And that's sort of the difference here for the Knicks. He is on a different level. We talked about this last week. I have been waiting a decade for him to start playing like this. And he finally has. And I think if the Knicks win, which I think they are going to, Brunson is most probably going to be the MVP. And I'm getting ahead of myself or ahead of my skis here too much. But I think there's a chance that Cat will get some votes at least because he has played that well in the playoffs. He's been outstanding.
We both thought that he was the most important player on the floor on Wednesday night.
Absolutely.
Here, I'm going to make this prediction about an adjustment that San Antonio makes for this game, and that is if De'Aaron Fox is as compromised as you're suggesting, and certainly as it looked, Dylan Harper is going to be in the game in the fourth quarter, and he should. Their number of minutes played will reverse if the first half goes the way, first 3 quarters goes the way that it did the other night. Their fourth quarter minutes numbers will be reversed.
Who played better for the Spurs than Harper in game 1? He's on the bench in the fourth quarter.
He won't be this time. I don't think they make that mistake again. If they do, shame on them.
Well, shame on him for letting it happen once. I mean, but yeah, I mean, and that's
there's a dance with who brung you thing, and Fox is a veteran, and you wonder Harper's first ever game in the finals.
They can both play on the same. They could be in the game.
You could do that.
But look, what we always say, what's happened in the game? Who was better in that game?
Oh, there's no question.
It was. It was a.
They won't make that mistake again.
No contest.
Can't imagine it.
It's only one guy. Yeah, he's a young one.
It's an important
And how
guy.
many finals games did he coach before Wednesday night? That's 0.
0.
Yeah. I mean, Mike, and that's the thing. When it's Mike Brown, I mean, we've had such a large sample size, Bruce, and you got to give him credit. He's doing some things that we didn't know he was capable of. Karl Anthony Towns had to be at the top of the list as far as the weakest basketball IQ in the league. And he's playing so much tougher, so much harder. I don't know. Maturity, maybe. I mean, it's as good as you get. Whatever, but can he? Are we dependent on him now? I think you can. I mean, it was always a scary thought when he was with Minnesota, but I think you can right now. So, and the other thing about this Knicks roster is they are a team that a lot of sports fans and guys like us, they will do the dirty work. And that's the biggest thing. I mean, Wembanyama, you're going to have to mix it up down low. They don't. They want you to hover around on the perimeter. But they're way more worried about you down in the paint on both sides of the court. So the Knicks, man, showing a lot of heart, a lot of toughness, which we respect. It's just we got to get through the nonsensical coverage of the team because they're in the number one media market and all the the clown fans and whatever. But still, this is a roster and a style of play that we normally respect the hell out of.
Yeah, and also back to Mike Brown. I mean, you can sense there's a connection here. And I mean, he's had enough successes in his career. We know he knows hoops, but he really connects with these guys. And I go back, and I've met him at a summer league several years ago. I talked, really personable guy, and it's just basketball talk. I mean, he really is. He's a basketball junkie there, and he just loves to talk about it. But Jim Dolan, the owner, he's come under a lot of criticism for good reason in New York over the years. And even last year when he moved out Thibodeau after the Indiana loss in the East Finals, he came under some heat. But his rationale is turning out to be maybe correct because he thought that the Knicks never were quite at their peak at the end of the season, that Thibodeau drove them so hard physically, he just wore them out. And you can tell, players kind of tolerated Thibodeau. These guys like Mike Brown, and he's actually been a little bit more player-friendly as we're not, killing these guys and just getting them to peak at the right time. And you can sense this team looks pretty fresh now, and we haven't seen that from the Knicks in the past.
Most times when the players like the coach, it's a disaster. Okay, but these guys have a little bit more toughness and grit and seasoning. I mean, I don't think it's just coincidental that a big chunk of them came up from playing for Jay Wright and playing kind of the right way. Keep in mind that Nova team, only Brunson of the starting five didn't redshirt. I mean, these guys had to show patience and commitment, and the Miguel. I mean, who doesn't like a guy like Jason Hart? Well, he's been doing this forever. It's now just being noticed because it's a difference in winning and losing playoff games right now. But I mean, so
I can't imagine that I would have ever given James Dolan credit. I got to be.
That's the thing.
I'd have given myself a better chance of holding the Hope Diamond than him holding the Larry O'Brien trophy. But give him credit. He got this one right, it looks like.
And you like the Knicks tonight, Bruce?
I do. I think, and I think that point you made about the point spread, that's a nice little cushion there. But I think they could win. I'd even look at this on the money line. I'm curious about the total has dropped too now. The Knicks scorelines have dropped a little bit here lately. They've held 3 of the last 4 in the playoffs under 100. But I think both teams should shoot better than they did in Game 1. So 214.5, 215. I think they can probably clear that. So I might look over. Overs had still been a pretty good, almost a 2/3, 67% play since the start of the second round. So I might look over tonight as well. But no, Knicks would be my first call, and I'll take the points, take my chances.
Who you got in the NHL? What a game last night, boy! Randy McKay gave us the under 6. That was a brutal beat, but never been a bad beat that you couldn't hedge out of. I mean, the second intermission 2-0. It was 4.5. Could have middled it a minute and a half away from middling it, but they go back to Vegas now, 1-1.
Wow, what a turnaround there! Because I had written that off for Carolina, and I thought, my God, this is going to keep going here for Vegas. By the way, did you know, I don't know if we mentioned this last week, John Tortorella is only signed through the end of the playoffs with Vegas. This is he's the mercenary's mercenary, the interim of all interim hires. So, and they're not even sure if they win the cup, are they going to want to bring him back? Because he's been fired from every job he's ever had in the NHL, but he's the perfect guy for this spot. I will give Vegas credit, though. How many times have we wished you watch a team and you say, right towards the end of a season, God, I wish if we had a different coach, I think we'd win. Vegas actually did that. I mean, they said, we're not going to win with Cassidy. We floundered since the Winter Olympics. Let's bring in Torts short term, kick us in the behind. So far, it's worked. But I think that was a major turnaround the other night. And I think even though Vegas does have home ice, they have lost some games at T-Mobile in the postseason. Not the Colorado series, but they did lose in the Utah and Anaheim series. And I wonder a little bit about Carter Hart because in goal, and Torts he's stuck with him the whole way. And he had only played 18 games this season. We knew about some of the that off-ice stuff up in Canada. He hadn't played in the NHL in 2 years before. But I wonder if he's wearing down a little bit because he let some of those shots get in the third period too, and all of a sudden he's not stopping the shots. And this Carolina penalty kill, they are just airtight with that. What, about 94% through the playoffs? That's outstanding. I kind of think it's advantage Hurricanes now, even if road teams win in the Stanley Cup, and I think Carolina maybe has the edge back. They get one of these at T-Mobile, they go back home with the home ice, and I think now maybe they have the edge. We'll see.
Interesting.
Guy wins the cup, we don't want him back, right?
Bruce, if he wins it, they will have him back.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Washington win it 1 year and fire the coach?
Well, Washington.
St. Louis did. St. Louis did. They fired. Okay. It was Berube came in mid-season when they were actually at the bottom of the pile in the West, and they came all the way back. So yeah, but this was right on the eve of the playoffs. And this one happened this year, so this one's kind of rare.
I would be really critical of that. Except I did the post game. I've done a post game here for years, and after the 2007 team won the national championship, I had a guy call the show and say, "This is the worst thing that could happen to LSU. We're stuck with Les Miles." So of all the calls I ever took on post game, that one I remember.
How did it work out?
Well, he was back in a championship game 4 years later, but they didn't win it. Okay. You may have heard about that game.
Yeah. Okay. Wasn't totally off.
Well, okay. that was the running joke for years. What was the perfect season in Baton Rouge? Undefeated, untied, unscored upon, fired a coach.
Yeah. Less if Brian Kelly could have less recruiting and Kelly coached the team, it'd be a different story. Brucey, we appreciate it, man. Good luck to you this weekend. We'll talk to you next week.
Have fun, boys. Thank you.
All right. Yes, indeed. Bruce Marshall of the Gold Sheet each and every Friday with us. Don't forget our friends at Total Maintenance. Total Maintenance, one of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies since 1980. Service today, every day. Means you call today, you get service today. Nobody sleeps hot when they call 480-1000. And maybe even before it just completely breaks down where what are we going to do? Yes, when you're forced to call somebody to come fix it. If it is just not cooling quite as quickly as you want, you probably didn't get it serviced in the spring to get it clean, to get it to work, get us over there. And so we can, before you're stuck. So if you do see a little signs that it's not cooling properly, it's taking a little bit longer, it's running a little bit longer, call 480-1000 and have us look at it. It probably could use a nice tune-up in cleaning before it completely breaks down. 480-1000, 480-1000. My buddy Lucas Ragusa and the great team over at Total Maintenance.
West Virginia's broken it open. 5 runs here in the fourth, including a grand slam. 8-1 now. Mountaineers are only in the bottom of the fourth, and they are still batting with a runner at second base and 1 out. Live at Rufino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Otten Hanny from Rufino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
And we return here at Rufino's live at lunch. West Virginia has blown it open with 5 runs here in the fourth, and Cal Poly's had to make a pitching change. This is where you gotta really make a call on how much quality bullpen do you want to use? You're down 7 runs. I know it's early in the game, but at what point do you say, okay, we're just going to let this one go and we'll try to win the next 2? It's tough to do that when it's only the 4th inning, but you're down 7 runs, and West Virginia, Chasen Cole has been awesome in this game. We did give up the 1 solo homer, but 9 strikeouts and no walks. I would think that Cal Poly would be protecting the quality arms in their bullpen. I would at this point. If you want a chance, I don't think I would.
Let's talk about we talk about Alabama with their favorable draw, the way it's worked out. I mean, they avoid Florida State. You get, not only do you not get Florida State into the Super, but the 4 seed St. John's, comes in, and then should they advance to Omaha, well, they avoid playing Georgia Tech.
Yeah,
and so I mean they're favored. They'll be favored to, and we thought I think you do. I mean, of the top 8 seeds, they're the one that was the weakest of the 8.
Yeah.
And they're still, I mean, they're right there from maybe playing Texas or Oregon, or who would be the
well, they get the Oklahoma, Kansas, and
no, I'm sorry, they get the who beat Georgia Tech?
Oklahoma.
Yeah, so the Oklahoma, Kansas. Yeah. I mean, but then they would play the Texas the 3-6 game.
You could very easily have half of the bracket with no number 1 seeds in the winner's bracket next Saturday or next Sunday.
Yeah.
Because you've got this Troy Little Rock game is going to face the winner of West Virginia Cal Poly. Now, West Virginia's in control here in game 1, and they got their ace sitting there waiting for game 2 or they may even hold it for game 3 if necessary.
They didn't play around. They every game was close, man. For them last weekend.
Yeah, it was a war to get out of there last weekend. So if you get game 1, I would probably. They had to UGL twice last weekend because he got hurt. I would just, if they win this game and they're up 7 runs, I would hold him for game 3 and try to win game 2 tomorrow, and then have Yell on full rest. That's the Big 12 pitcher of the year. I know it's easy for me to say sitting over here. But then on this other side, Jimmy, if Alabama gets through with St. John's, Kansas, and Oklahoma on the other side, you're going to have a 3 and 4 chance of not having a top 8 seed in the driver's seat there. The heavies are at the bottom. Where you could end up with either Texas or Oregon against Georgia or Mississippi State.
Texas, Oregon's matched up with Alabama.
Not for game 1 of the World Series.
No. But that bracket.
The heavies are at the bottom and the lights are at the top. You got Texas and Oregon, Mississippi State and Georgia. That's the bottom half of that side of the bracket. The top half is Alabama, St. John's, Kansas, Oklahoma.
Right. You're talking about a Georgia, Texas, possibly if form holds.
Yeah.
To play with Alabama and somebody else.
Right.
So I mean that is. Although the path to that's where it stops. If form holds, this easy path to St. John's in a super, and then play at Kansas, Oklahoma, win. The Texas, Georgia. No, that's where it stops. And that's why I said, I'll take Alabama at a price right now, but I'm looking ahead as soon as they get to that point because. They're not gonna.
They would be.
That's a big step up.
A winner's bracket game, but it's a 1-game thing. They would be an underdog against anybody that comes out of the bottom of that bracket. Even if the underdogs, Oregon or Mississippi State, come out of the game, Alabama would be, in my opinion, a game 2 underdog to either one of them in Omaha.
Oregon or Mississippi State?
Yeah, I think they would be. I understand that they. Put it this way, I don't know what the odds makers would say. They might just look at the seeding. I would tell you that I think Mississippi State is better than Alabama, and I think Oregon, from what I saw last weekend, and that's the first I'd seen them.
Well, with Valincus would State, it'd be more like a pick 'em, but Alabama would not make the national seed an underdog to 50.
Well, you'd have to throw Valincus in game 1 against Texas, so it'd probably be Duke Stone.
Yeah, so Alabama would be favored.
If you threw Tyler Fay in the first game. They're
the 7th seed.
They would be favored.
They would be favored.
I think they should not be favored.
Oh no. That's a different story.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, I'm with you there too. I think Mississippi State's better than Alabama too. I think Ole Miss is better than Alabama. I watched that series.
Yeah.
I mean, they lost the 2 tight games and things kind of went their way, and then they got blasted in the middle game. But when I'm looking at it, and since I watched that series, I said, and it was played at Alabama. And the other thing, the one thing that Alabama did. Okay, if you want to scratch it off because it was so early in the season when they went to Gainesville and swept them, okay.
Well, it counts.
Okay, no, but okay, that's so long ago.
Yeah.
Okay. They swept Auburn too,
and that's a month.
Okay, and Auburn won how many series?
8
in the
out
conference?
Of 10. 8 out of 10, I think it was.
Okay, and one of the 2 they lost, they got swept.
And the other one was to 7 out of 10 because the other one was to Georgia when everything was pretty much wrapped up in the last week.
Yeah. But maybe it was in Tuscaloosa. We did also see sort of these rivalry series. We saw that home field advantage kind of meant something with the A&M Texas series because they beat them up pretty good and they couldn't wait to beat them a third time and probably would have. when they held the weather delay for about 17 hours before they finally called it quits. Maybe. It wasn't Tuscaloosa, but they swept them. Nobody did that to Auburn this year. Nobody.
You asked me about Ole Miss. We've talked enough about Hunter Elliott. The best pitcher on their staff right now is Taylor Rabe, the guy going in game 2. His last 5 starts, he's got 49 strikeouts and 5 walks, and he has done this against really good teams. Against A&M, he had 14 strikeouts and no walks. He went 6 innings there. Against Georgia, now this is earlier in the season, 6 innings, 3 earned runs against that lineup. That's really good. 6 innings and 1 earned run at Nebraska. 6 innings, 1 hit, no earned runs against A&M.
Yeah.
These are all really powerful lineups that he's faced, and he's got the strikeout pitch working. If Ole Miss wins tonight, I think Auburn is going to have to run Marciano back in game 2, even though he pitched on Monday. And if you got Rabe waiting on you, I've been high on Auburn since about the beginning of April. I really like that team. I really like that coach. But them losing to Milwaukee in that first game last week and having to come back through it has shook things up a little bit. That's why I give Ole Miss a much better – call it a hedge if you want, but I give Ole Miss a real shot.
Well, also maybe it was their wake-up call also.
Yeah, and they did handle, to Auburn's credit, and like I said, I think it's a really good ball club. They handled Milwaukee in the last 2 games. They had to beat them twice. They were in control all 18 innings.
NC State, one of the last teams to get in as an at-large. I mean, they slugged with them. They had big leads, and Alvarez. And then sometimes you can be thrown off when you get such a big lead like that, and then as an ace, and so they get him too. But that pitching staff, it was, I don't know, and something that could be using a wake-up call. Problem is, Ole Miss is a quality club. Yeah. It's a quality coach who knows the drill of having his team ready for postseason, and they've had more disappointments than how many times has Ole Miss lost as the favorite? A lot.
Yeah.
Under Bianco, but they've been there so many times. They're a program that expects to be there, so it should be a very competitive. I do think like Alvarez and some of the other guys will settle down though after last week. It's funny though. Yeah, I do agree with what your point you talked about Ole Miss. I didn't ask you about Ole Miss though. You said you're funny. You asked me about Ole Miss.
Well, you said you didn't ask me. You said something about Ole Miss.
I was like, wait,
I wanted to get
I wanted
to get my Taylor Rabe stat in there.
I know you did. I understand. Don't forget our friends at United Community Bank, the local way to bank big, with locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 50 years. Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. Like our friends Prentice Wilkes, Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, David Henry. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Live at Rufino's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at Lunch with Otten Hanny from Rufino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Jay Johnson getting going in the transfer portal here in the last 24 hours. Yesterday, you heard about Landon Hood. He's a right-handed pitcher from Gonzaga. West Coast Conference Freshman of the Year, 2.48 ERA, 78 strikeouts in 54 and a third innings, 21 walks. This will tell you how few hits he gave up. He had 21 walks in 54 and a third innings, which is a touch high. But then you get a whip that's below 1. When you walk 21 and 54 innings, well, you're not giving up a bunch of hits. 97-ish on the velocity. Landon Hood, the right-handed pitcher from Gonzaga, headed to Baton Rouge. And now another addition just here last, hour or so. This came out. Dawson Parks, shortstop from Texas State, hit .301, 13 homers, 52 runs batted in, 962 OPS in 48 games as a sophomore. He is headed to Baton Rouge. Also apparently a very good defensive player, number 38 ranked prospect for the 2027 draft. So Dawson Park headed in. I should also give you a little bit of an indication about Stephen Milam, who we have felt all along was probably going to go pro, but you never know what happens with the draft. But Dawson Park is headed to Baton Rouge. So that's a couple that we've got that we know about here in the transfer portal so far for LSU. Cal Poly did finally get out of the bottom of the fourth inning, but 5 runs across for West Virginia, including the grand slam, and they lead it now 8-1. Cal Poly did come in with one of their better relief pitchers to get them out of that, but they trail 8-1 now going to the bottom of the fifth.
So Jay Johnson didn't go complete Dabo on us like he threatened to on that Friday night of the A&M series. He's not threatened to. I mean, a little bit, we're not doing this again.
No. What he said was that they would not chase power numbers in the transfer portal. He never said anything about pitchers or ace defensive players or, hitters. What he said was we're not going to chase our power numbers in the portal. Maneri used to think like this, too, because if you bring in a power hitter, he thought about it at the junior college level. It was before the transfer portal was what it is now. So I don't like to bring in power hitters because if they don't hit for power, then you have an empty roster spot. They brought in a kid, I can't remember his name.
Tommy White?
No. This is way back.
He was a power hitter?
He was a power hitter. Okay, that might be the exception. White's one of the best power hitters ever come through college baseball. He's a top 10 all-time guy. But if it doesn't work out that way, there's nothing else you can do with him. Okay, you bring in guys that are good defenders that can run.
I get that, but I mean, does he regret bringing in Tommy White?
No,
okay.
I wouldn't imagine that he does. And White's the exception, I guess, to the rule.
With the one thing White did, he did in the power league.
He did for NC State. That's what he said. He didn't say I'm not dipping into the transfer portal. He said I don't want to dip into the transfer portal for my power numbers.
And he said a lot.
Oh,
basically,
he did.
It was a lot of anti-transfer portal with this group.
It was anti-transfer portal from a power standpoint because there's 2 kids that left the program last year that both hit for big power numbers somewhere else. They limited. Mikey Ryan was one, and they just didn't have a whole lot of at-bats available to him last year on this team. Went somewhere else, and he said he would prefer to develop the power and go to the transfer portal for other things. Like I said, this was something that Maneri believed in as well. When they brought in Greg Dykman, for instance, okay, Dykman was a shortstop. He wasn't filled out the way he would be in his final year where he was just mashing the ball all over the place. And I think that's what Johnson is saying. We want to take guys that their power will develop. If you go out and I'm sure the Zach York thing is stinging him right now because the guy hit for power at Grand Canyon, came here, and when he didn't hit for power, there wasn't a whole lot you could do with him. He wasn't a great defender. You can't pinch run him. You can't. You're soaking up a roster spot at that point. Doesn't mean he's right all the time. Yeah, if there's a Tommy White guy out there, yeah, go get him. They don't win. They don't win the title.
Brandon Larson was a pretty good pick. Transfer. The power guy too. He also played shortstop pretty good. Look, it's Charlie. The point is, he's not going to limit himself. He missed a lot on the transfer portal this year, but he's not shutting it down.
No,
okay,
and he never suggested he was shutting that down. Not the transfer portal. I mean, he wasn't going Dabo.
Okay,
but he was talking about the type of player that he wanted in the portal. We'll see.
Did he bring Tommy White in?
He did bring Tommy White in. And if there's a Tommy White out there, I'm sure that he'll go get him again. If you find a guy that can hit 25 home runs in a power league, he'll go get him. I think what he's suggesting is there's probably not a whole lot of Tommy Whites out there where you get a massive power hitter in a power league that you can get out. They deal with that one. Give him credit.
Larson was JC, so we went to power league.
No, in the landscape was so different back then. Recruiting junior college players was a lifeblood of a lot of programs. LSU, man, we could sit here and name junior college guys for a long time that came in. And Larson was one of the biggest. Doug Thompson was a junior college guy, a pitcher. It was a national championship team. Lloyd Peaver was a perfect. Was it 15-0, 14-0, whatever it was? Yeah,
National Pitcher of the Year.
National Pitcher of the Year. Who are you liking to Belmont tomorrow before you wrap up here?
not the Derby winner. They're not going to have that suicide pace to set up for him to come late. I can't take Renegade at even money, which he currently is at. Morning line 2-1. Can't take him. So I'm going to be looking for more of a price. Wallaby is kind of a
cheap Wallaby.
Yeah, it's kind of a big. So I may be looking at some of the 6 to 10 shots morning line outside of there because I think the World of Renegade, that was an incredible race in the Derby. He'll be hard to beat. He'll have a much better trip, but not at that price. That's it. It's a great. You're gonna less traffic, fewer chances for shenanigans to happen. Get slammed into one. The 4 horses getting slammed in the rail and at frantic pace and all that traffic getting caught up in all that. So this is going to be more of a form. Renegade's going to be there. I'll be shocked, but I can't take him at even money.
You guys like to watch the day before the Triple Crown races, the card, see how things are developing. You've been watching Saratoga here. Speed,
yes, speed is. It's been like that the last 2 years, early on as well. So, and this is not like a typical California track where the speed holds so much, but it is played like that the last year especially. So still early this year trying to figure that out, but it does seem. I mean, you had a 3-5 just come off the pace in race 3 at Saratoga, barely got there the last stride where usually it's so speed is holding up pretty good.
Weather looks pretty good there today. I don't know about tomorrow, but the weather looks very nice there. Very nice there today.
It'll be a Patty Petrozzini, a Danny Osteria. She's got a table waiting for us, Charlie. Patty Petrozzini, my girl.
All right, enjoy your weekend. We will take a break, come back and wrap things up here at Ruffino's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at Lunch with Odd and Hanny from Rufino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
And return here at Rufino's. We're also brought to you by Coastal Capital Advisors. Want your retirement specialist. When you're talking about retirement, there's questions you need to answer about where you are in life, what your income level is, and what plan makes sense for you. You don't want to get to retirement age and have a lot of loose ends out there, a lot of questions that need to be answered. How much do I need to retire? When and what point do I want to retire? Let Phil Fontenot and his staff answer those questions for you and develop a plan that'll give you the peace of mind that you're going in the right direction. They've done a great job for us. Been so pleased with the results, with the updates, and you're constantly being given information that will guide you in your path towards retirement. CoastalCapitalADV.com to set up an appointment. CoastalCapitalADV.com. Member FINRA SIPC. Cal Poly gets out of another bases loaded jam. They're already down 8-1 in this game. And West Virginia in command here as we go to the top of the 6th inning. 8-1. Max, you got a couple of picks for the games the rest of the day? Or the rest of the Super Regional.
Yeah, just looking at it now, I think we've got a game coming off in an hour. I think I'm against you. I think I'm going to go with the Trojans of USC here. By the way, 3 Trojans left in the College World Series.
2 of them playing Little Rock, Troy, and
Troy,
USC.
Little Rock, and So I think USC's got the better pitching matchup today. Just the way it looks. The matchup on the bump today is Mason Edwards, who has an under 2 ERA for USC, against Ryan Lynch, who has got a 4 ERA. For North Carolina. So just think the pitching matchup, you got pretty much the aces of both teams, and I think USC, granted they burned a lot of guys last week. They threw a lot of pitches, but I think at least early in the series they're going to have an advantage here against North Carolina. What you like North Carolina in this one, don't you?
I do. I think I like them in the series, and I like them today. The thing with USC is they rearranged their pitching a week ago. They didn't run their ace out in Game 1, and they lost. Now, they ran him back in Game 2. They won. Obviously, they won the rest of them. Then they had to go deep into Monday night. It throws, and I'm worried about this for Auburn too, it throws a lot of routines off. Pitchers get into routines. The college pitchers especially, they get into these routines. These starting pitchers, they're used to a certain amount of days off. They're used to not pitching twice in one weekend. And some of those guys, you get to the postseason, you see this every year, pitchers are going to be asked to do things that they haven't been asked to do before. And it's a slippery slope. And I think for Ole Miss, they ran them in order. They did exactly. Now, they were on the road, but they ran them in order. Auburn didn't. Auburn had to come back on Monday. USC, same thing. North Carolina ran everybody in order. They're at home. USC had to bring guys back. You may have a starting pitching numbers advantage. I'm not disputing those numbers. But I'll tell you, as you get deeper into this thing, it's when you bring a guy back on short rest, okay, a lot of times the adrenaline gets you through that. You come back the next time, and you're still not on – your full allotment. That's a lot of times where you get hit. Maybe USC's got enough. They didn't. As I understand, they didn't go back to Los Angeles. They went straight from. Okay, so now you've been on the road for a week and a half. I'm just saying that there's a lot of things that line up for North Carolina here. If USC had gone straight through College Station, I'd feel a lot better about USC's chances. But I like North Carolina in the series, and I like. I've been on Auburn for a while, but I like Ole Miss in this series. If Auburn had not lost last Friday, I think that this would be I know the pitching would set up a little bit different. What do you think tomorrow?
I will say the other game today, I like Little Rock, not just in the game today, but in the series. I think they're going to pull off the upset on Troy. I think they're well situated. They've got the pitching advantage when you look at ERA at least. The advanced analytics are pretty similar on the starting pitchers today between Little Rock and Troy, but I think Little Rock has a chance, and I know there are a lot of local fans here after what they did last year in the LSU, the Baton Rouge Regional.
I don't have a strong opinion on that game or that series. I'd slightly favor Troy because they're at home, but I
think you're getting a good number coming back on Little Rock, plus 180 for the game today, and then plus, let's see, 260 on the regional.
Yeah, you can take a shot. I don't think that there's a massive advantage other than the home field there.
Tomorrow, we do agree tomorrow morning.
Yeah, tomorrow morning, I like Mississippi State. I like Georgia to win the series, but I like Mississippi State tomorrow. I like Valinkas better than Volchko. And Trey Phelps not being there is a big deal. I mean, you're taking one of the big Thunderbats. I mean, Georgia's got plenty of them. You're taking one of those big Thunderbats out of the lineup with Phelps, top 3 in homers, RBIs, and batting average for Georgia with the suspension tomorrow. I like Mississippi State in the game, but I like Georgia to win the series. Thanks to our friends here at Rufino's for being our Friday hosts, as they always are. The shrimp skewers, the crawfish and asparagus risotto, smoked veal short ribs, and the blackened grouper on special here today. Monday, we are at Big Mike's. From all of us here at Rufino's and Jordan back in the studio, have a great day. Stay tuned for Hunt 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.